We're going to do a class that's going to include 3 different props. So we have a yoga strap of some sort, or a tie, blanket, towel if you need to, a looped TheraBand. And if you don't have a looped one, you just have a long one, you can take and tie your TheraBand into a loop, okay? And then handheld weights. So we're going to start on our back, and you're going to start with your strap first, okay? So as you get down onto your back, the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to take legs up, okay? And we're just going to work this movement a little bit. So essentially what we're doing is we're doing a pelvic tilt. We're tucking the tailbone under, flattening out the back, and then curling the tailbone back down and just moving the pelvis forward and back. And as we do that, the legs are coming with us. Okay, so as you're doing this, it's easy to kind of push into the arms to give you leverage to lift your hips up. We're going to take the arms just straight up, reach your fingertips up, which you see will lift your shoulders up, and then drop your shoulders down. Okay, now try to do that pelvic tuck. Flatten out your back, and then curl back down. Okay, bend the knees for a moment. If you want to rock side to side, you can. Okay, we're going to try that now with our band. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your band up above you, and you want to get the band to the very, very tips of your fingers. So if you're holding it down here, you're going to lose a couple of inches, and you want as many inches as you can get. So hold it way up, legs up. You're going to do the same thing and work your feet towards your band. That's all we're going to do for right now. Just work the feet towards the band. Still doing that pelvic tuck. Okay, we got one more. As you release, take and just hug one knee in towards the chest. Let the other leg just hover, flex that foot, and press your heel away. And then take and switch sides. And then we'll bend both knees. And from here, we're going to roll onto our side, and we'll come all the way up here. You're going to take your looped band, and you're going to put it over the tops of your knees. And then we're going to come onto all fours. Okay, so knees will be right underneath hips, wrists right underneath shoulders. What you're going to start with doing is just lifting the right knee up. And as you create that lift of the knee, you're watching that your whole body doesn't slide to the side here. So as that knee lifts up, you're not pitching your hip out to the side. You're trying to stay level here. It's really important as we start to progress into this. So knees just going to start to lift. You're going to make a really small circle. And this femur should be completely vertical as you're moving here. Okay, let's go the other direction with our circle. And then you're going to set that knee down. Okay, let's just hover the other side. And then once you find that stability, start to circle. Hopefully you're feeling your obliques kick in here to stabilize you. Let's go the other direction. Definitely working glutes as well. Okay, take the knees down for now. You're going to just keep this over your knees. You're going to grab your hand weights. And you're going to hold onto them. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is, if you're sinking down and your shoulder blades are kind of pinching together here, I want you to pull your shoulder blades apart and let the upper back be broad here. Also, if you're really sinking your rib cage, you got to pull the rib cage back up so we're not in a really swayed spine here. Okay, Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one hand, we're gonna go straight to, like if we had back pockets, and we're gonna come down. We're just gonna move that one arm. So as we're moving here, ribs aren't dropping down and out. We're not pinching the shoulder blades. We're keeping the same alignment we did when we started here. So let's switch to the other side. Okay, last one on this side. Roll those weights out. We're going to revisit the legs here a little bit. Okay, so now what you're going to do is lift the right knee up. Okay, and now we're going to go straight out and slowly back in. And again, you're watching that hip deviating out. So I'm going to pull my hip back in. I'm going to really try to use obliques, pelvic muscles to keep my side body, my pelvis, everything in the same plane and not pushing the hip out. Now let's release that. Let's go towards the other side. And you might find that one side may be easier than the other. We just tend to maybe be stronger on one side than the other. Okay, then we'll release that. Grab your weights again. And this time, I want you to come forward a little bit more. So knees going back a little bit, arms coming forward again. So you're in more of a modified plank position. Again, let's drop the shoulder blades together, pull them apart here. And then we'll keep those shoulder blades broad. Check your pelvis. What's happening here? Do you have to lift the rib cage up? Okay, and then now let's take, and we're going to alternate side to side, taking that weight to the back of our head. Okay, one more time each side here. And then we'll roll those out. You can decide if you want to keep the band on your knees or take it off. It's up to you. We're going to come down on our back again. Okay, let's grab that strap. Straight up here. Okay, so legs up. Again, we'll go into that pelvic tilt. And now what you're going to try to do is see if you can get your feet under the band into the other side. You may want to bend your knees and try it this way a few times. And then you might want to try it a little bit more with straight legs. As you're coming out of this, make sure that you're not just dropping. Okay, so it's momentum and you kind of just drop. We want to try to stay controlled up, controlled on the way down. And if your feet don't get anywhere close to coming underneath the band, don't worry about it. All right, let's bend the knees, take the feet flat here. Just grip onto your strap or whatever you have and just extend up overhead. Your knuckles don't have to touch the ground here. They can just be hovering and reach your arms away. Okay, releasing the arms. So you can come onto your side. You're going to rest on one side here, okay? You're going to bend the knees, and with the arm that's on the floor, take and let your ear and your shoulder crunch together, and then pull away. So this is working on shoulder stability here. Now pull that shoulder away, stay here. We're actually going to turn our attention to our legs. So this is called clamshells. Feet are going to stay together and you're going to lift one knee up and then slowly come back down. This hand can rest here. It can rest onto your leg, really kind of wherever. Now, as you're moving here, notice if your head is hanging forward. You can draw the head back, bring the head in alignment with the rest of the spine. Okay, we got two more. After that last one, we're going to come up onto all fours. Okay, grab your weights. Go right into that modified plank. Maybe you want to come forward even more. And again, we'll go right to our pockets. If some of you want to attempt it, you can even go into a full plank if you know that you have the strength in your core to support that. But if you get up and you're sagging way down with your hips, you're not using your core here, and we'd rather just have you have your knees down for now. Okay, a couple more times each side. As you release, take that out. Okay, so we did really small circles here. Now we're going to do big ones, okay? So lift that right knee up, really big circle. See if you can pull the knee towards the wrist and then shoot it kind of back behind you. Okay, we're going to go the other direction. I'm just going to change angles so you can see. So as I'm doing this, make sure that your hip is not forward. Your hip needs to stay right over top of your knee. That's the way you're going to get your glutes here. Okay, let's release. Let's switch the other side. So not only are we watching our hips sliding right to left, but we're also watching the hips sliding forward. We want to stay hip stacked right over the knees here. Okay, let's go the other direction. Last time around. Great. Releasing in here, you're going to come onto the other hip now. Release that elbow down. So we got clamshells on the other side. First thing we'll start with is just this shoulder movement. And now let's keep that shoulder away. We'll go right to those clamshells. As you're bringing the knee down, go slow versus the band pulling you. The thing with bands is you got to work against the resistance of it. Okay, last time here. All right, awesome. We're going to come now up onto our knees and you're going to grab your weights. Okay, so again, you can take the band off if you want, you can just leave it. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn palms forward. Spine tall here. So watch if your head is dropping down, bring the head back. We're going to go for an extension behind us. So the weight is going to start at the side of our body and we're going to literally take it straight back, slide it right next to the body. So there's movement behind us. It's very similar to what we're doing in all fours, activating the muscles of the shoulder that go with extension behind the body. Okay, now let's take it to a movement in front, then sweep back and switch. The size of your hand weight is really up to what you have available to you. So pick what works best. Okay, we got a few more times each side. Great. We'll take and release down from that. You can take this band off. We're going to do a stretch for the outside of the legs here. Okay, so left ankle is going to come over the right knee. Depending upon the tightness of your hips, you might be way out here, and that's fine. Maybe you can come in a little bit. Arms are coming at your side, and they're just like a pole that's helping to let your spine lift up. I do want to encourage you, though, with your arms to rotate the fingertips out to the side and maybe even back a little bit, so you're getting some external rotation of the shoulders versus fingertips being forward. Okay. All right. So big thing here is we're not in the pelvic tilt. So we're up tall with the spine, the pelvis, and then you're free to move here. You rock this a little bit side to side. You can just hold straight in the center too, if you prefer that version. If you're noticing that somewhere along the way, you find, wow, it's actually really tight this direction, feel free to hold it. Now let's take and switch to the other side. If you're noticing, oh, you got a little neck tension, maybe you drop your head a little side to side. You can pair some other movements with this as you go. You can feel free to stop anywhere along these movements. All right. So that was kind of a quick little series, but you could repeat it as many times as you need.